Welcome to the Cantina, my Star Warriors. Today we're going to be talking about the false messaging that is permeating the new Star Wars sequel trilogy. And I guess I'll just start off with the ball-busting women that you find all throughout the new movies. Now, I have nothing against strong female characters. I think that in the 70s and 80s, Leia was an incredible, strong female character. Now, you can say when they put her in a brass bikini that they changed that, and fine, I will not argue that. I will say that maybe something changed there. I don't know exactly how the majority of women see that image, but whatever, I will digress. It was definitely put there for the enjoyment of the male audience. But I'm here to talk about what's going on with the so-called feminism today in Star Wars. I know a lot of people are upset with feminism, just being forced on them in their Star Wars and everything, and I think feminism is something else, and what Disney and Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams are doing with Star Wars is really a bastardization of feminism in general, kind of like the same way they bastardized Star Wars. This group of people seem to take something that is generally pretty good, and they twist it and twist it until eventually they're going to twist the head off of it, and people are going to get pissed off. The ball busting in Star Wars is generally what I'm talking about here. And I'll just start way back at The Force Awakens. What happens the very first moment that Finn and Rey meet each other? I know I don't have to make anyone guess that she knocks him out. Okay? She knocks him out. And then, of course, they go on with the story, and she's good at everything, and he's a bumbling idiot, whatever. Okay. But what I want to focus on right now is how she knocked him out when they first met. And now I want to fast forward to The Last Jedi. I want to see if you can tell where I'm going with this. Within, minutes of the movie starting, Finn meets Rose. And what happens? She knocks him out. And of course he's still a bumbling idiot throughout the whole movie. And now I want to step away from Finn a little bit and focus a little bit more on Poe. Can you tell where I'm going with this? He has this little issue with the leadership and the resistance, and what eventually ends up happening? Leia knocks him out. I know I skipped the Kylo Ren fight with Rey at the end of The Force Awakens, and I'm gonna. I guess we could talk about that farce with Luke and Rey on Acto. She didn't quite knock him out, but yeah, it's just. I would have no problem if all the women were protagonists and all the guys were antagonists, and there was a little back and forth between antagonists beating protagonists and protagonists beating antagonists, and that's just how it happened, or how things worked out. But it's like whenever a protagonist meets another protagonist, and one happens to be a man and the other one happens to be a woman, the woman ends up like knocking the guy out. We're not talking about villains and heroes here. We're talking about heroes and heroes. And Disney Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, has set up this pattern where women are obligated to knock the men out at some point, despite the fact that they're not enemies. I just don't know what message they're trying to send. It's definitely not feminism. This is something way beyond feminism. This is like some sick, twisted version of feminism. irregardless of what you think of feminism, uh, I think you'd have to admit that this is not that. Uh, this is something else, and it's sick and it's twisted. But this thing with the men and women protagonists isn't the only twisted message they put out in these Star Wars movies. I mean, the thing about the veganism with Chewbacca turning into a vegan and everything, and the cruelty to animals and everything, all that stuff that they brought, that is another thing they're twisting. They don't get their messaging right, or at least they're saying completely different things. I mean, you've got the vegan thing, and you've got the cruelty to animals thing, and then you have Luke spearing a fish. The hero of the rebellion spearing a fish, where, just a few scenes later on the same planet, Chewbacca will be guilted out of eating a porg. I'm wondering if they realized what difference is there in a porg and a fish? Why isn't Luke cast in the same dark coloring as those animal cruelty people on Canto Bight? It's clear to me that the people organizing this messaging are just fake people. They don't care about these issues, but they're putting them out there to pander to different groups of people, and to some extent try to piss other groups of people off. But it's a really phony situation, whatever it is that they're doing. How about the way they portray ethnic people in Star Wars these days? I mean, it used to be that they had, a bunch of aliens that, were sort of parodies of ethnic people back in the Lucas days. And then, there was Lando, who, started out the film as an untrustworthy traitor. And, that stuff wasn't terrible. The Neomoidians back in the prequel days were kind of insulting, I thought. But, I'm not Asian, so I can't really speak for Asians. But, I thought they could be a little bit insulting. Jar Jar Binks could be a little bit insulting. But now we have Rose Tico. And what I think is a ridiculous haircut they put on her. And it's no wonder that Star Wars is not really raking in the bucks in Asia. Maybe they don't like her portrayal in the movie, and they're voting against this movie with their dollars. But what else do we have? We have Finn, who is a freaking bumbling idiot. And he, other than what they just did to Hux, who is a villain, Finn is pretty much the only bumbling idiot in the movie. He's definitely the only protagonist bumbling idiot, and I'm not sure exactly why Rian Johnson turned Hux into one, because he certainly wasn't one in the first movie. He wasn't a bumbling idiot. In fact, I was so impressed by that guy. I liked him way better than I did Kylo Ren. I liked him way better than I did Snoke. He was the best villain in The Force Awakens. He just had this powerful, image, powerful moments and everything. And then Rian Johnson came in and killed all that. I don't get their messaging. I just don't get their messaging with anything, really. It is really bad SJW stuff, but to the point to where it's just twisted and twisted and twisted. Anyway, guys, leave comments down below, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think.